Hello guys, and welcome to another iRacing video. It is week 12, the last week of the regular iRacing season. Obviously we've got the wonderful, the wacky week 13 to look forward to. But this week is the week I can finally get that $4 participation credit because of when I started doing the BMW 12 challenge. If I could do all the weeks since I started, you have to do 8 weeks. Sadly I didn't make it for the Simrad Production Car series, but for this series I made it. So all I have to do is one race here at Road Atlanta this week, and boom, $4. So I'm happy with that. So, well, by the looks of it, this split is not massively high level. However, my pace is still being built up to scratch a little bit. I really want to get some 27s in there, maybe. My best at the moment is a 28.4. So it's alright. And yeah. It's a lovely circuit, this Road Atlanta, one of the ones I bought. It's an absolutely amazing circuit, I've got to say. It's quite difficult, particularly in this first sector, very technical, quite quick as well. But it is absolutely worth it. I think so far it's one of my favourite circuits I've been around. For actual, how it feels to drive. I mean, maybe still not the quickest there, but in terms of actual driving feeling, it is absolutely amazing. Also, my iRacing's a bit inflated at the moment because I've been doing a lot of races in the Pontiac series, and I'm actually really quick in the Pontiac. I jumped in at Watkins Glen, and it's very popular this week at Watkins Glen Pontiac. There were 6 Pontiacs in the race, and 2 of which were very close to my iRating. Within 1,000 anyway. With overall numbers, they were quite, and I was setting really, they were in the draft, and I still managed to win by about 4 seconds. And they had the draft because obviously Watkins Glen, even the boot version, is very, very dependent on drafting. So even out of the draft, I managed to pull away from them. So that was pretty amazing. I don't have that same kind of 3,000 iRating pace as in the Pontiac. I probably am deserving of that high iRating, but in this car, no. I don't think so, but, you know, we'll see how it is. So, let's get racing. So, qualifying, I absolutely love this circuit, so even if I'm not the quickest in the world, I've got to just tell myself, it's only one race. If I'm terrible, if I'm good, maybe I'll do more, but it's only one race. I've got to get that $4 participation credit, and it's actually a very fun circuit, even though I'm not necessarily the quickest. This circuit is just so fun. Oh boy. It's such a fun circuit, it's actually unbelievable, so it's kind of worth it for that. Now, like Laguna Seca with the heavy braking zones, it seems like running a slight brake pressure bias does make you a little bit quicker. So, you know, it hasn't been the case since Laguna Seca, really, in these cars. However, it's definitely a thing here. Also, these cars being very gentle on the throttle, it is quite difficult for me to manage because the Pontiac, you get speed out of rolling it through corners and then mashing the throttle because it's got so little power. This car, you have to really be a bit more gentle with it, feed it. It's a very, very gentle car. You can be very quick in this car if you drive it very, very calmly. They're weird, these GT4 cars, which is maybe why I'm not the quickest in them. You've got to basically, to be quick, you've got to drive what you think is slowly, but try and get the maximum performance out of the car while doing it. And if you can do that, that's probably the quickest way of doing it. So, on to our first lap here. Honestly, just if I can complete a half-decent lap, I'll be kind of happy. This corner, it makes you think that you don't have to brake that much. You do. This corner here is probably one of my favourite ones ever. If you nail it, it's so cool. Just a quick break, quick little, almost like a half chicane or something. And then this bit here, it's like Maggots and Beckett's almost, but slightly tighter. And then you come through here, this is also a really cool corner. 3rd gear, over the middle apex, oh rip, messed that up, messed that up. So over the middle of that apex and down towards this little bit, it's like a sort of open hairpin almost, you know, you've got sort of this corner and then straight away another right. But then it's not really a typical hairpin, it's just a little bit like that. Oh, slightly messed up that exit from there though, that's lost me a little bit of time. I was actually up on time before that, but oh well. And there's a very long straight then, before coming up to another chicane, a bit more of an open one this. Very heavy braking into here as well. Be careful you don't get on the grass, what I've done before. So, down through the gears a second. Oh boy, a bit late on the brakes. The braking, honestly, the driving line through there is a little bit wrong. This lap's been okay. It's about a 28.6, so I'm fairly happy with that. Maybe not, okay, it's a 28.7, so maybe not the best of laps in the world. At the moment it's enough for pole, however, that will surely change. I mean, people have been able to do 26s around here. The most common lap I've seen is about a 27.5, something like that. That's what I'm really aiming for, to get into those 27s. However, I have not been able to quite manage it yet. Oh, we haven't had the greatest of runs through here, although actually that turns out to be quicker. Oh. If we give a good little run now to the rest of the lap circuit. Okay, at the moment only 3 people have set a lap, so that's... I guess other people maybe span off or something, because it is quite weird for only 3 people to have set a lap so far. I mean, I'm halfway through my second one. Okay, actually, a lot of people have started setting laps, so maybe the track isn't very well rubbered in, so everyone's setting quite slow laps, I don't know. Because so far, loads of people have set laps, and somehow, I'm in first. Now, one thing to mention, the BMW series does get very quiet when it's at a paid track like this, so therefore there's only the one split. It's a very full split, but only the one, so that means that obviously competition... Well, there isn't really any competition. It is a lot more open because the game hasn't grouped people based on ability. There is no ability groups. There's only one split. So this lap has been slightly better. It's into the 0.6s, so that's all right.
That lap was a 128.68.
However, it's still not really that quick. But yet somehow, loads of people have set laps. 10 people have set laps. Oh, there you go. Okay, these are the quick laps that we're expecting now. I'm suspecting oh, there you go. Look, everyone's had issues. This track, one thing to mention, it is extremely difficult. If you try to push it too much, you just end up spinning. And you can quite clearly see here, look. In fact, only 2 people have actually made qualifying, one of them being me, without an incident. So it does kind of show this track is extremely difficult for... just track limits, not track limits necessarily, but it's actually quite good on track limits. You can slightly graze the grass and it won't mind. It's the fact that it's particularly that first sector, that really tight, twisting first sector. You can see I want to be up there in the 27.5s really, 28s. Now, car number 1 is a Division 1 car, so that is actually quite promising. The guy ahead of me is Division 3, which is roughly where my iRacing is now. So actually, where I've qualified is pretty much where my division is. Car number 3 hasn't been able to qualify, although, there we go, look at that. 7 incidents, 6 incidents, 4, 4, 4, look at that. So many people who presumably have had both laps ruined by safety rating. 8 incident points, look at that. I mean, that's absolutely appalling. 8 incidents over 2 laps. Well, an out lap plus 2 laps, that's pretty bad. Maybe this track isn't that safe, I don't know, for safety rating wise. Obviously I'll try to keep it as safe as possible. Obviously I've been doing very well safety rating wise in the Sim Lab Production Car Challenge, so my safety rating's, it's about 3.75 in B class, and I can't get to A class as I don't actually own anything in B class to do. So at the moment I'm just limited to B class as a ceiling until I buy some content. So... safety rating is less of a priority for me. I'd like to keep it above 3 if possible, because that means your safety rating is pretty good. You want to try and keep it between 3 and 4 is kind of the ideal. Obviously, above 4 is quite nice. However, some people on iRacing do say that if your safety rating is a bit too high, it means you're driving too slowly. However, I don't think that's quite the case. It's just a bit of a saying. If it's 4 or above, maybe you're driving a bit too slowly, a bit too cautiously. However, I don't think that's true. But you can see here, look, apart from 2 people who've set some mad 26s, 27s, even if there are some quick people back here, they haven't qualified, and they're going to have to come through at least 12 people or more to actually get up to where the leaders are. So obviously, and if there's carnage at the back, that won't happen. So I think we should be alright. There's a couple of people in the 28.7s. Now looking at this field, it's pretty much a full field. So we've got, if you halve it, it's 9 and 10. 9, because I'm number 2. So probably top 7, top 6 we're aiming for today to gain iRating, which by the looks of the times should be doable enough.
Session, P3.
I think we'll have to wait on how much carnage there is in qualifying, no, in the race, to match qualifying. Obviously, you know, qualifying was just carnage. Don't know how the rest of it's going to be. Line up on the grid here for probably the first full-length rolling start in this series for quite a while. Actually, what was last week? No, last week was Brands Hatch. That was full-length as well, I think. But yeah, a lot of... Actually, no, it might have not been, from what I remember. I don't know, recently, the BMW series goes to a lot of tracks, and the formation lap is literally the last 2 corners, or the last half. It's like half a lap. It's not the full lap, which annoys me, because it doesn't give you the chance to warm up the tyres nearly as much as I'd like. You know, you can't get the car warmed up, so, you know, obviously this is only a 12-minute race, this series, very short race. I am interested to see what kind of carnage happens on the first lap. I'm obviously really hoping to just have a nice clean race. Honestly, I could finish towards the back and have a nice clean race, and I'd be much happier. You know, the way I look at iRacing, it's like, even if your iRating goes down the toilet, if you've got good safety rating, it balances it out. But if you get both in a race, it's just so bad. Like, your iRating doesn't matter as much. Like, your safety rating determines what you can and can't do on the iRating platform, on the iRacing platform. So your safety rating is probably the most important thing. iRating is just, oh look, I'm this good. It fluctuates a lot. It's annoying to lose some, but it's not the end of the world. Safety rating, though, if there is a series we enjoy doing, not so much in A class, but particularly in B class, if you go any lower than that, some of your favourite series might end up locked again, and you have to build them back up. Obviously, it's quite unlikely, for me at least, that's not the case. Most of the series that I race in are either C or D class, so therefore, as long as I don't dip below C, I won't lose out on any choice. However, at some point, I probably will want to move into the GT3 VRS GT Sprint series. I know that's a long title, but that's basically what it is. So, also, it's just good to try and be a safe driver, you know, it kind of, you know, but you get better racing with people, and overall as well, a good safety rating will get you better iRating, because if you're not making stupid mistakes, and crashing, and finishing towards the back of the pack, you're going to gain safety rating, but at the same time, you're also going to gain iRating, because you're not towards that back end of the pack all the time. If you finish towards the, you know, if you finish last in every race, you're never going to gain iRating, it's always going to go down. Even if you're on like 300 iRating, it's always going to go down because of how iRating works. Really, your aim is, no matter what number you are in the field, depending on what number you are, it does slightly affect it, but you should aim for the top half of the field, and then slightly below that if your number's low, slightly above that if your number's like number 2, number 1, that kind of thing. Okay, warm up the brakes there. This car does not feel good on cold tyres, so I think it's quite a good idea to get as much heat into these things as is possible. There you go, off we go then, let's try and get it. I think we've warmed up the tyres and brakes and things successfully. We've set our brake pressure bias to what it was in qualifying, that felt okay. Whoa, that guy almost just shoved into the back of me, that was close. He was going a little too quickly, I think. And we're being held by the 4 car here, thank you very much for that. And he's gone, is he gone? I think he's gone, that was a bit early. However, again, it's perfectly within the rules, and it has actually allowed me a bit of a break into 3rd place. Obviously we're going to start 3rd anyway, but it allows a much less carnage-like first corner. If we let all the crashing happen behind us, oh, there you go, in fact there's a blue car in the background that's just gone off. There's absolute carnage there towards the back. So that's good. I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that they did that little jump. Obviously, it's perfectly within the rules. The lead car decides when to go. As long as obviously the safety car is pulled in, it's absolutely fine. Now we've pulled away. We've already got a 1.5 second lead to the car behind. If I can finish third and have a nice, calm race, I'd be very happy with that.
That'll do. Time to get to work.
I mean, looking at the times these two set in qualifying, they're going to be pulling away from me anytime soon, so yes. And you can see there's been a lot of carnage because behind me the cars started are 4th, but then 6th, then 8th. So somewhere 5th and 7th, or 7th is there, but yeah, 5th must have been the car we saw going off. So there's been a fair amount of carnage back there, involving at least one car. See, the two ahead of me are pulling away now already. Just a touch. It's only a little bit, but it's noticeable. It'll be quite good to pinpoint this where I'm losing out on time. Behind, the gap's 2 seconds, so the gap behind is pretty nice. So that's a positive. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to keep with these guys. They've obviously had maybe more practice. This is. Apart from a little bit of practice, I've done about maybe half an hour practice around this track. Some a couple of hours ago, and then some just before recording this video. But apart from that, I've literally never been round Road Atlanta,
okay,
so
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes
I'm pretty impressed really with the pace. Same as last week at Brands Hatch, my pace has been fairly alright considering the amount of practice I did it. Particularly at Brands Hatch, I was actually quite quick. Round here in practice, it didn't look like I was amazingly quick. However, I've been surprised. I think it does help that there's only one split. When there's only one split, the ability levels are not nearly as challenging as when there's 2 splits. As soon as it goes into 2 splits, you know that all of the noobs with like 1,000 iRating, 500 iRating, they're not going to be there. They're not going to be in your race. So you're going to have much stricter competition. Now, behind me, actually have a 3-second gap. So I'm pretty impressed with that. We've actually stayed with the guys ahead a little bit. They get much better exits than me out of this last corner, I've noticed.
The driver in front of us is Ray's.
That's where they gain the most of me. So that's interesting. Gap behind is 4 seconds. And straight away, we've done a 27.9.
27.94.
So straight away, our pace has improved from what we were doing before. 27.9, we're into that 27 bracket then. I just need to figure out that last corner. They get such a good exit off it. I can't manage that same exit, unfortunately. At least not at the moment. They've really pulled away from me, actually, now. They're starting to obviously maybe warm their tyres up, get into the groove of the race. Maybe I've already hit maximum potential for my current level of practice. Gap behind 4 seconds. There is a new guy behind. So he might actually have the pace to catch up with me. I don't know. Obviously, as I predicted, the 2 leaders are starting to pull away now. I'm absolutely fine with that. I kind of knew they were going to, looking at their pace in practice and qualifying. They were looking pretty decent. Gap behind is staying pretty static at about 4 seconds. So I think we might be okay there. Behind, and obviously that's all that matters. I'll be so happy with 3rd place. 3rd place, I'm absolutely fine. If these two can crash and hand me a win, I would also not mind. I'd appreciate that, definitely. In fact, we have actually closed in on this lap thanks to their shenanigans. That lap felt alright, actually. That was it. Okay, it's 28.1, so our pace is pretty much alright. It's whatever it is, it's quicker than what I was doing in practice. So that's decent. Gap behind, still about 4 seconds, so that's interesting. Also, remember, this race is only 12 minutes long, so what happens at the start is very important. Which is why I'm always shocked when people don't qualify in this series. Well, I don't think anybody didn't qualify. I think it's just that everybody, well, most people have their qualifying laps invalidated because of safety rating concerns and things. But yeah, my pace, I can already feel, is much better than it was in practice earlier on. The gap behind was about 3.9 seconds on this straight last time by. This time by on the same straight, 3.9 seconds. Oh my word, someone's been disqualified in about 4 laps. Oh dear. That is not good. That ain't good to be disqualified that quickly. That's the same guy though, to be fair, that got 8 incidents in qualifying, so... That ain't good. I want to look at his safety rating at the end of this. That's embarrassing. That ain't good. Oh, the car behind definitely closes on me a little bit through those last chicanes. I'm not good through those last chicanes. We've done... Okay.
Okay, Morgan, that's half distance. You're looking good for fuel.
So both of the cars ahead of me are doing 127.1s. I'm doing 28.1s. I've done 2 of them in a row now. So that looks as though that's my pace, which I'm actually quite happy with. That's alright pace. It's not the best. However, again, considering my level of practice and all the rest of it, I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, I broke way too much through there. That was not good.
The car behind is catching. The gap's now 2.9 seconds.
Yeah, so the car behind is starting to catch because this lap has been a little bit dodgy for me. I think I'm braking a little, but then the brakes seem to have got stronger. Maybe now they've heated up. Oh, I say the brakes have got stronger, and then suddenly they get weaker. I like that logic. Yeah, on this lap, car behind has actually closed in a whole second. It was 3.9 seconds, it's now 2.7, so...
Got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
This lap has been... Either they've sped up, or this lap's been pretty appalling. Obviously, I would like to keep 3rd place. If 4th place comes knocking, I might just give it to them for the sake of safety rating. 4th place is still a very good achievement. I was expecting to be mid-pack, so... What? Are you joking me?
Keep it nice.
Okay, that is going to be the most ridiculous off-track, apart from maybe the ones at Spa, that I've ever got on iRacing. I was like, yeah, this track's pretty good on track limits, and then that happened. Yeah, that's not good. I don't know how that was track limits. I think it's because I slightly cut the end of the chicane, so the game was a bit unhappy. Oh, we have got a new leader in the race. What? Another off-track? Are you joking me? Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to have to be super cautious now. That's a bit unbelievable. I guess now I can see how so many people had incidents in qualifying. Now they're getting used to the track. They're pushing the limits a bit more, and it's hurting them, as it is me. That's a bit nuts, though, to be honest. I think both of those off-tracks were a little bit mild. Particularly that second one. That second one, I didn't even detect much in the way of an off-track. Whoa. Okay, the car number 4, no, not car number 4, car number 5 in position 4 has suddenly come alive.
The guy behind is catching.
He's like gained another half a second this lap, and this lap has actually felt quite good to me.
Used half your fuel.
Car ahead is actually making quite a few mistakes, 2nd place. He lost the lead this lap actually, so he's got maybe damage or something, I don't know, but it's... Oh, actually, I had a really good exit through that chicane because the car behind is now 3 seconds away again. So either I had a tremendous exit or both of them made mistakes, because that lap was only a 28.0, so it wasn't anything spectacular. It was pretty average pace. My pace has been 28.1s, and that was a 0.93, so you can't really call it. What? Another off-track? Are you kidding me? Okay. Right, I'm going to lose safety rating from just off-tracks at this rate, so I'll be really careful next time by at that corner. I'll be honest, I don't actually believe that's off-track, but there you go. Only 2.5 minutes left now. Right, let's just not get another off-track. I can't believe they're off-tracks in the first place, to be honest, but there you go. I think I might do more races here this week. I am really liking Road Atlanta. Maybe it's not the best for safety rating, but I have massively enjoyed racing round here today. It's a very, very nice track, gotta say. Yeah, braking earlier through there definitely seems to help on the exit a little bit. That's a 28.3 that one, so a little bit slower, however, not noticeable. Right, be careful not to upset track limit people here. There we go. Although what I did on that lap felt very similar to what I did before, so, you know, mildly confused. But yeah, this track's absolutely amazing. It's just like that feeling you get from chucking it round all those bends. It's just so awesome. The next one's going to be the last lap, I think, so that should be good. Honestly, the car behind has been really catching me. The gap's only 1.7 seconds. He must have started further down in the pack or something, because he has got some pretty decent pace. Because first place is only 6 seconds away from me, so my pace has actually been fairly alright in this race. However, I would like to get a podium if possible, so I'm not going to just give it up for nothing. This is the last lap now, though, and the gap is 1.5 seconds.
Okay, Morgan.
Honestly, though, if this was a 20-minute race, I think he would have got me.
Bring it on. You've just done a 128.58.
This is the bonus of these really short races, I guess. Only 12 minutes, that's, you know, it's kind of like, if you mess up qualifying or you have a bad first lap, it's a downside because it doesn't really allow many mistakes, but it's also a good thing if you qualify quite high up and maybe other people around you make mistakes on the first lap, or they crash in qualifying and have to start from the back. In an hour race, qualifying makes very little difference. The overall pace difference between people overall makes the difference, but in 12 minutes, fixed setup as well, remember. That's also another key thing. Fixed setup means that everybody has literally the same car, so you can't modify your car to be quick in some sort of corners where others may be slow, or quicker on the straights where others might be better in the corners. You can't do that. We literally have identical cars. Alright, gap behind is 0.8 seconds. Oh, we've messed up that last corner. We've messed it up a bit. But I think we're alright. Honestly, one more lap, 2 more laps, and I think I would have been finishing 4th. But there you go. Across the line in 3rd place. I don't believe that.
Great drive.
Those last couple of laps were quite slow in the end. But, you know, if I get the win, I'm not so bothered. So I'll take that. So there you go, we'll finish there, and there we are. Only 3 incidents in the end, which, you know, it's not the best. It does show that this track clearly isn't very handy on safety rating, but you can see there, look, this is the bonus of being in a low split. 2 people didn't even start, and then a further 4 didn't finish. So, in the end, only 13 cars actually finished out of 19. So obviously that means that just finishing will not lose you too much iRating, even if you're the slowest of the slowest. So it's kind of cool when it goes to a paid track, a lesser series, like the BMW 12 Challenge. It's popular, but it's not top of the range popular. It's very similar numbers. It's to the touring car challenge, really. They're popular, but they're not popular. You know, I mean, compared to other series on iRacing, they're pretty dead. I mean, this is probably the most dead series on iRacing, although I say that, and it's actually had this Bet Racer 4 challenge. It's actually, even a paid track had a fair amount. But you can see, normally, I don't think I can view yesterday's results, no. Usually, by this time of day, the BMW series would have 2 splits every hour. It's only had it at 4:30 and 5:30. The rest of the days, nothing. So it's kind of like that. Right, where are these results? I want to know my results so I can show you guys. Taking their time, aren't they? You can see there, 3.82 safety rating, and here we go. We actually lose safety rating for 3 incident points. That is the downside of a short race. even 3 incidents with 0 in qualifying, and pretty sure we had 0 in practice as well, didn't we? Yeah, 0 in practice. So, because we only had 3 over the whole weekend. So even 0 like that is still enough to lose your self-safety rating. So, I mean, kind of says something, doesn't it? But overall, to be fair, 0.02, I'm not bothered. 3,000 iRating now, look at that. Almost 3,000, we're almost there. Best lap, to be honest. We were, roughly, the 3rd best person, no, the 4th best person in the field, excluding a couple back here. Actually, someone there, look, oh, actually, no, I'm reading that wrong. I thought that was 27. So yeah, actually, I am the 4th quickest person in the entire field. My iRating was the 2nd best in the entire field, so maybe, although this car number 5 must be quite new to being a D-class, to being a road racer or something, because there's no way their pace was 1500 iRating. Their pace was better than that. You know, and the guys ahead of me, one of them had 4,000 iRating almost, so I'm not ashamed of losing to them. So there you go. I hope everybody really enjoyed that one. Hope to see you in the next one. Do smash that like button. Also suggest what series would you like me to do next season in iRacing. I will actually post it as a video once iRacing reveal next season's schedule, which I think they do on week 13. But till then, I hope you really enjoyed this one and look forward to future iRacing content on this channel. Bye-bye!